Hello and welcome to my thoughts on issues 43 to 45, Ponies of Dark Water. If you haven't read it yet, you can click here and listen to me read it for you. Alright, everyone ready? Let's go. So, the girls are just getting back from Abyssinia and Spike. They just saved Equestria from some bears or something, it's not very clear. And poof, a hot spring erupted. Now, luckily for Twilight, the water's not scalding when she falls in face first. And right off the bat, we're starting off with some good bits. But too bad the water's evil, so now they're all evil, except Spike, who apparently supposedly went in the water, but he's never shown to be in the water. But he says he went in, so I'll trust him. And now our story begins. So first we see evil Rainbow Dash making evil sonic rainbooms all day. Wow, that is totally out of character, such evil. Evil Rainbow's kinda lame. But you know who's not lame? Evil Applejack. She's not even evil per se, she's just an asshole. But in a funny way. Applejack is just a good time all around. But now Applejack runs off, and then Twilight shouts over her magical intercom that she's the Empress. And then Apple Bloom says the best line I've ever read. Applejack is gonna fire me for this. I don't know why I love it so much. I just do. It just amuses me every time I see it. Then, enter Evil Rarity. I don't quite understand her motives. She wants to rule Ponyville for some reason. It just doesn't really seem in character. Like Applejack, for instance. She went from farmer mode to business mode. I get it. Or Twilight, who turned up her princess knob to 11. I get it. And Rainbow Dash is even more Rainbow Dashier. And then there's Rarity, who wants to rule Equestria because she turned up her self-importance knob to 11, sure, but it just doesn't seem to feel like how the others are changing. I don't know, I would just expect she would want to make every pony look like her and remodel Ponyville after her image? That's what I would expect. You know, like that one episode. Inspiration Manifestation, that's gotta be it. The one where she makes everything gold and shiny and blinds every pony. That one. That feels much more in line with how the others are. Evil. You can't see it, but I did finger quotes for evil. But, yeah, Rarity's weird. Spike writes to Celestia. Celestia's too busy, so she sends Luna. And it seems like it's setting up for Luna to be important down the line. Too bad she's not. I mean, sure, she gets screen time, but so does Spike. And now Applejack is trying to repossess the Crusaders Clubhouse, which makes sense. It has apples on it, it's just inefficient to not harvest them. And then, I think Sweetie Belle's supposed to be making a joke with the oral contract statement, but I don't know, it didn't land for me. Ooh, and Luna makes a sick entrance here. And then, she can't magically hold an Earth Pony. Rip. But, you know, at least she had the cool entrance. So now Applejack runs off to hire some thugs, which I don't know why she needs any, she was already hella strong, and now she can physically bust out of Alicorn magic, so okay. And so, Luna sends off the Crusaders to find Zecora. I know I just said this about Luna, but Fluttershy has her sickness turned all the way up for her entrance. Just that whole last page, so good. Sure, there was just 2 sentences, but the ambience was on point. So part 1 does a pretty good job setting up the plot. Girls get back from quest, stop at evil hot springs, become evil. Short and sweet. And it does a good job showing off how the water affected each one of them. Sure, Rainbow didn't really change and Rarity's kinda weird, but that's a general plot problem. So I won't penalize part 1 for it. And good on the writers for picking one antagonist to focus on, since part 1 had to spend half its time setting up the plot. Just unfortunately, Applejack as the antagonist isn't that exciting. I mean, it is amusing though. There's a good amount of time hyping up Applejack, and then it's like, oh, Luna's gonna come over, and then they meet, and it's like, oh god, what's gonna happen? And then they talk, and then Applejack runs away. Oh. You know, I thought the climax was supposed to be the peak excitement, but it just kind of flatlined. And now, Luna has served her purpose. What a good character arc. But anyway, on to part 2, where we flash back to yesterday, Which is weird because I'm pretty sure yesterday they weren't evil, right? I'm pretty sure they weren't, but maybe they were, I don't know, correct me. Unless 43 ending at night signifies that it passed midnight, making yesterday then the morning that they turned evil. Fair enough. Twilight's just hanging, reading books, normal stuff. And then she gets the big brain idea, hey, why'd read books when I can just magically absorb all the knowledge from my subjects? That's way less work. Too bad it relies on her subjects having the relevant knowledge, which they probably don't. But cut to now, where it's morning, I thought they ended at night. Did Luna just make it dark? I'm actually really confused on the timeline. But anyway, Fluttershy is the coolest of the antagonists. Not just her demeanor, but the vines strewn across her body. Good design. Twilight and Rarity, they just keep talking about how they're gonna take over, but Fluttershy is doing it. I mean, she already claimed Everfree, so while Fluttershy chases the Crusaders to Zecora, we finally get a look at Pinkie Pie. And sure, bombing the entire town so that they would pack into the theater, that's a little evil. She just wants to put on a good show, nothing too bad. And oh boy, it is a top tier show. It's just too bad that Luna destroyed the theater. So obviously Pinkie needs revenge, it's only fair. And if Luna can't even stop Applejack or Rarity, she has zero chance against the Party Pony. But meanwhile, the Crusaders get to Zecora, and then she hides them from Fluttershy, and rightfully so, Fluttershy gets pissed. And much like Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy wasn't actually going to do anything bad until she got wronged. And now we leave off with a cliffhanger. Fluttershy has declared war on Ponyville. Luna is once again evil, and Zecora is going to try using Dragon Scale to make a potion. Part 2 did a really good job fleshing out Twilight, Fluttershy, and Pinkie Pie, and not so good a job with Rarity and Luna. It definitely feels like they're just thrown in for the sake of them being here. Like, so far, I'm not even convinced she wants to rule Ponyville. It just feels like she wants to pick a fight with Twilight. The other 5 are just doing their thing, but Rarity is actively seeking conflict. Okay, so Luna and Rarity fight. Theater gets destroyed. Luna disengages. Then Rarity comes back, we're not done yet, until Twilight yells, and it's like, okay, we're done now, I'm gonna go fight Twilight. I don't understand what she wants. And she just tosses Luna aside, like, what was the point of the fight if she could just do that the whole time? And as for Luna, who is now Nightmare Moon, is just stalling for time. And yeah, her fight with Rarity did visually look cool and stuff, so it wasn't that bad, but she's not really doing anything plot-wise. But at least the Fluttershy stuff was paced well and made sense. And now we move on to part 3, the finale, where Luna has just been turned into Nightmare Moon. I'm sure it won't matter, it's not like Luna was doing much anyway. At this point, we're just waiting for Zecora to make a potion, which she makes almost immediately. And wow, surprise, Luna did something useful! She subdues Pinkie Pie. It almost feels like the writers wrote themselves into a corner by making Luna not strong enough to defeat anyone, so they just had to give Luna a power boost to negate the power boost the others got. Problem solved. And one by one, all the ponies become good again, with none of them causing any major damage, or creating any semblance of a real conflict. The end. Oh wait, not Twilight! Oh, never mind, we got baited. She's fine. It didn't matter that Luna became Nightmare Moon, it just helped. Fluttershy's army just got deleted, Rainbow didn't do anything, Rarity didn't do anything, Pinkie almost did something. If she hadn't turned Luna evil, she wouldn't have gotten knocked out so that the potion could have been tested on her. So you know what? Good job, Pinkie. Evil Twilight was almost a good character. She definitely needed more screen time. Like, did we really need that much Rarity? She wasn't doing anything. She could have easily been cut out like how Rainbow was cut out. It just takes too much time to focus on all 6 characters, especially since they're doing completely different things. I do think Applejack was handled very well. She was a very good starting point for part 1. And Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie were handled very well in part 2. It really sucks for Fluttershy. She had all this build-up, and then finally it's time for war, and then she just gets cured out of nowhere. And speaking of the cure, it confuses me. So Zecora puts some dust on a balloon. It turns red in the presence of dark magic, and blue when it's not. Alright, pretty straightforward. So then Zecora grinds up some dragon scales, puts it on the balloon, and then the dust turns blue. So the presence of the dragon scales alone gets rid of the evil magic. So then Sakura puts the blue dust with grounded dragon scales on Pinkie, and it cures her. But in every other case, the evil pony gets hit with the water, and they get cured? So somehow Sakura not only purified the water, but made it antidote water? I'm very confused, cause she definitely didn't open up all the water balloons and put dragon scales in them. But I mean, whatever, it's not that bad of a plot hole. But anyway, the story as a whole, it was a cool concept, just not executed that well. I do think the evil characters were pretty well designed, with the exceptions of Rarity and Rainbow Dash. The story wasn't paced that well, and the antagonists didn't really do that much. Like, the only time an antagonist did their job was when the Crusaders were trying to get to Sakura, but Fluttershy was chasing them down. Other than that, they were just kinda chillin'. So Applejack and Pinkie Pie were more comedic in their role, so I don't care as much that they didn't do anything really. But Fluttershy, Rarity, and Twilight, whose tones were much more serious, still didn't do anything to stop the protagonists. Fluttershy almost started a major conflict, Rarity just kinda took up screen time, and Twilight, who could have definitely used Rarity's screen time, got stopped before she could even propose a major conflict. But the way she got stopped was basically perfect. Like, I'm totally fine that Twilight got nipped in the bud. I mean, she would have been basically unstoppable. It's just unfortunate that no one else was able to do anything either. My thoughts on Luna. She had a cool entrance. The cliffhanger of being Nightmare Moon was cool. Alright, and that's Luna. So, tldw, I wish something happened, like actually happened. The idea for the story was good, but it wasn't written that well. The evil characters, however, were, for the most part, very well designed and written. Applejack and Pinkie Pie were funny, Rainbow Dash was Rainbow Dash, Rarity was all over the place. She had cool moments, she just didn't make sense. And Fluttershy and Twilight were awesome, but they weren't able to meet their full potential. I wish they had been stopped, like, gradually over time and not all in one fell swoop at the end. And Twilight getting pushed in the water twice was perfect. And those are my thoughts on Ponies of Dark Water. Let me know what you guys thought about it. And until next time.